Here we go again. That last part 6b, was about Ron Paul's very dangerous position, stating that school prayer is not a federal issue. This next part is going to be about Ron Paul's positions and voting record regarding religion and public schools. But first, just a quick word about a very dangerous trend going on in this country, of which Ron Paul is part of. If the credit rating of the United States were to be downgraded, whether or not there's an actual default, it would mean we'd have to pay higher interest for our existing debt going forward. If that higher interest rate were merely 1/2%, the cost to U.S. taxpayers would be over $70 billion per year, and that's over $700 billion in 10 years. The debate itself over whether or not the United States should honor its obligations is putting the U.S. credit rating in jeopardy. It represents a huge potential increase, not decrease, in federal spending. Ron Paul currently advocates not voting for the debt ceiling. If he is successful, he will become a part of this movement in the United States to destroy our country. If Ron Paul is successful in preventing the raising of our debt ceiling, he will become a clear and present danger to the United States of America. But enough of that. Let's get on with his wackadoo ideas about education.
One of the scariest ideas that Ron Paul has with regards to religion in public schools is that he advocates presenting scientific facts that support creationism, intelligent design, whatever you want to call it.
Ron Paul's desire to present scientific facts that support creationism comes from the 2007 GOP Values Voter Presidential Debate, September 17, 2007.
Keep in mind that Ron Paul's desire to present scientific facts that support creationism is in conjunction with his desire or belief that school prayer is not a federal issue.
There are no scientific facts to support creationism or intelligent design. It is 100% religious in nature.
For you libertarians and teabaggers out there, one of your most favorite political commentators has something to say about that.
And finally, new rule. You don't have to teach both sides of a debate if one side is a load of crap.
And furthermore,
intelligent design is supported by guys online to see the Dukes of Hazzard.
Come on now. Do you really want the federal government out of setting standards on education throughout this country and then have the evangelicals come in and teach intelligent design to your children? I don't think so. In addition to these very disturbing beliefs by Ron Paul, there are other factors to consider when you think about voting for Ron Paul.
In 2007, he wanted to encourage homeschooling and private schools via tax write-offs.
Again, in 2007, he supported tax-credited programs for Christian schooling.
Let's just assume Ron Paul is successful in his little plans. What do you think that's going to do to our national budget?
Well, let's just add it up. Okay, the Republicans and Ron Paul defeat our ability to raise the debt ceiling, and now the United States government over the next 10 years has to pay an additional $700 billion in interest payments on our national debt.
And then, as Ron Paul suggests, we give a $5,000 tax credit to 53 million students in the United States.
That's another $2.5 trillion in lost income to the United States government over 10 years.
Boy, oh boy, can you just imagine how those private schools and Christian academies are just licking their chops over the prospect of getting their hands on that kind of money.
He takes a position that he wants to dismantle the Department of Education, but he doesn't want to dismantle public schools.
What do you think is going to happen to the public education system if you divert nearly $2.5 trillion over the next 10 years to private schools and Christian academies? $2.5 trillion of taxpayer money.
Handing over that much tax money to greedy, for-profit Christian academies will literally destroy the public school system. Do you really want that?
The estimate of siphoning off about $2.5 trillion from the public school system and handing it over to private corporations to educate our children is a very low figure. The truth is, you can't educate a kid for $5,000. Considering Ron Paul's notion that the federal government should not be involved with your child's education, combined with his really crazy religious ideas, will not solve the education problem in this country. Watch out what you ask for, because you may get it. Though I have focused on Ron Paul, this video isn't just about Ron Paul. It really is about the entire Republican Party. Ron Paul and all the other Republican candidates running for President of the United States have been taken over by an extreme political view represented by the right wing of this nation. These people are all clear and present dangers to the United States of America. The right-wing political element in the United States of America has already proven that they are unable to govern. If you want to see an example of that, just take a look at the last administration under George Bush. Don't give them another chance to make the same mistakes. It's to our peril if you do.